I read a business book a few years ago, and it ended up in the "this is okay" pile. Do you have a pile like that? I have a few. I think my "this is okay" pile is a lot higher than I really like this book. I wasn't amazed by the book. The subtitle of it always stuck with me though, and it went something like this: A Guide for Women to Make Money Doing What They Love. And the theme throughout the book was creating the life you love by making money, doing what you love. What a promise. I don't think there's anyone who wants to work in a dead end job the rest of their lives doing something they hate. This does not end up in the "what do you want to be when you grow up" essays. But as we get older, we realize that creating the life you love doesn't always pay the bills. So, does it mean you're a failure? Hey, Mom. So, welcome to another episode of the Life Unboxed blog show, where we talk about all things momtrepreneur, from raising your kids to running a business, and the most important, keeping your sanity. I am Jodie the mom from lifeunboxed.blog. Visit lifeunboxed.blog and download your free Mom Boss 2.0 workbook. So this workbook teaches you how to start a business without a niche. Yes, you can do it. If you feel like a rebel mom and you want to break all the rules, then this is for you, and you can be successful doing it. And thank you to all of my supporters who've bought me coffee at ko-fi.com/lifeunboxedblog. And that's ko-fi.com/lifeunboxedblog. And what's great about this is you're not committing to a monthly subscription. You don't even have to create an account, but you can just support the show with one coffee or however many coffees you would like to give. And I really appreciate it. So now let's get back into the show. And we are talking about what if creating the life you love doesn't pay the bills. And speaking of coffee, I'm going to get some right now. Okay. So the first thing we need to talk about is money. And sometimes we treat this as such an ugly word. It can be difficult to talk about with clients, and we are shy about being honest about it, unless, of course, you make a bank. Then there's more of an openness. Sometimes, not all the time. And I will tell you this, I still struggle with talking about money. So we're all in this together. But making money is a necessity. No, it shouldn't rule your existence, but let's be honest, we need money to live. So working and making the bills is something you have to do. You can't escape it. You need to make money to support your kids, to buy that homeschool curriculum. Oh, yes, you do. To grow your business and all those things that you need to do. We need to pay the bills, so you just can't avoid it. So what do you do if your passion doesn't pay the bills? Does creating the life I love mean I have to love my work? I'm really excited to answer this question, to be very honest with you, because I feel like as moms, we've been sold a bill of goods when it comes to our work. So I'm just going to be full on rebel mom today. I should have had one of my kids draw a tattoo on here that says rebel mom, something. So, in a previous show, I tried to debunk the cultural idea of chasing your dreams as too narrow. And of course, I will leave that show in the links below. And embracing motherhood as a dream worthy of pursuit. So honestly, looking back at these posts, I don't feel like they do the topic justice. I did pull them into the book that I am working on. And through this discovery process of writing and actually having the space to write more words. Like, you don't want a 4,000 word blog post. You really don't. But a 4,000 word chapter or more, like, that works. So I'm realizing as I'm going through this process that the more deeply a topic is felt, the harder it is to write. So as I'm really struggling to put these deep feelings, because I do feel very deeply about this topic. So as I'm struggling to put them into words, like, I want to revisit the idea now of chasing your dreams or passion for just a moment. And again, I've written the chapter already in my book, and so I feel like I've done greater justice to these topics. And like, it was really satisfying, maybe cathartic, to get it all out. So the idea of creating the life you love is rooted in these same cultural ideas of passion and chasing your dreams. And frankly, they are just too narrow. Okay, so let's talk about it. I want to tell you a story. So my oldest son sits at his desk working away on his high school work. Suddenly he stops and turns to me. "Is this true?" he asks. "If I find what I love, I will never work a day in my life." I cringed when he asked me. Let me be straightforward with you. I really hate this statement. It sounds nice. It is a promise we all want fulfilled in our lives. It is safe to say we all dread working a job that we hate. And yes, my fellow moms, I have worked jobs I hated, and it is not something I recommend. We envision ourselves being stuck in the everyday grind with no hope of getting out, and that light at the end of the tunnel is an oncoming train. So you kind of start to picture like a really bad scene from a 1950s movie where everyone is like in this big office pool, and it's like there's no life in them except they're all just doing the same motions and typing. So that's what I always picture. So the problem with these ideas of passion, so we're going back to the ideas of passion and why it's a problem, is that we silo it into meaning one thing. And it means love the job that you do. You have to be passionate about your work. The job you work should come with an euphoric high of passion. Passion is the foundation for all of your motivation. If you don't have it, then you won't follow through in the hard times. You will give up if you aren't sufficiently motivated by passion for what you do. Or so they say. So we've established that we don't want to work in a job that we hate. Like, there's no fulfillment or satisfaction in that. But so is the opposite then to work in a job that we're passionate about and that we love? Is there some in between? Because these sound nice. The problem is they aren't true. And it sets a standard that is unreachable for many people. It is possible to like what you do without being passionate about it. Okay, we're going to say that again. We're going to get some coffee first. Okay, we've had our coffee. So I'm going to say it again. It is possible to like what you do without being passionate about it. You may even just like the people or work environment that you are in without actually being passionate about your job. So I'm going to tell you a story, and it's not in my blog post. So for my podcast listeners and my YouTube watchers, you're getting a bonus. At one point, I did a certain job, and I'm not going to go into details of what that job was, but I despised it. I went home almost every night crying and praying that God would deliver me. I really despised it. So years later, in my virtual assistant business, I was asked to do the same type of job, and I hesitated because I'm like, I hated it. Like, I really did. But you know what I realized? Because I said yes, because, we're virtual assistants, we're business owners. We just say yes to everything and we'll figure it out. So I said yes. And what I discovered was like, you know what? I actually don't mind doing the actual work. I actually enjoy doing this job because I'm by myself. So it was the environment that I was in that I actually despised, not the work. So sometimes, if you're in a healthy work environment, you may enjoy that more than your actual job. And if we're honest with ourselves, if people really enjoy the work environment and the people they work with, there's a lot about the job, the actual work itself, that you will endure. You may be passionate about a specific job, but trust me, if you are in a toxic work environment, you will hate it. So my passion and my driving force is to be the best mom to my kids. This is my number one dream I am chasing. And you know what? That's going to change at some point. But for now, my youngest is 2. That is that is my vision for the next 20 years or so, maybe a little less, 18 years or so. And that is a good thing. So my career and how I make money is what gives me the resources I need to be chasing that dream. All right, I'm going to give you a mom confession. So, my fellow momtrepreneurs and homeschool moms, it is confession time. And here it goes. I am not always passionate about being a homeschool mom and a momtrepreneur. Okay, I said it and it's true. Both of these things are really hard to do. There are days when I feel like a total failure at both. Feeling like you never succeed or you're failing your kids in their education is, it's kind of a big deal. Does this mean I am a failure then? Have I not created the life I love? Since I am not making money doing what I love, then how can I create the life I love? It is just so confusing. I am supposed to be chasing my dreams and following my passion in order to be happy, so I must be doing something very, very wrong. All right, Mom. We've gotten through our confession. We've gotten through our drama. Now take a deep breath with me. Now breathe it out. You aren't doing anything wrong, and you're not a failure. Okay. You are not doing anything wrong, and you are not a failure. Okay, yes, I think of the vacations we could take if we didn't need to buy curriculum. Oh my goodness, and they want to go to Disney World. We could do that if they were in school and I was not buying curriculum. I ponder the carefree days I could have if all the kids were in school. Dream with me for a moment. The quiet. Yes, I think of the time I could spend creating content, recording podcasts, and posting YouTube shows if I didn't have clients who loved me so much. Can I say I am just very loved? So the day-to-day realities of being a work from home and homeschool mom can steal the passion out of the most passionate mom. That's why I create the Momtrepreneur Live Coffee Chats, and I will leave that playlist below, or I'll put it at the end of the video. We'll see if I remember to do that. Because we need to know that what we are feeling and the realities we face are normal. So that's why I do the coffee chats, so that you're not alone and you can feel like, okay, this is normal. Okay, there are other moms out there dealing with the same stuff. So what do we do? Is it possible to create the life you love? Really, can we actually do that at this point? So I know I will probably be thrown out as an outcast homeschooler for saying this, but here it goes anyway. You can still homeschool your kids without being passionate about homeschooling. Did your mind just get blown? Well, it is true. And you know what? You can also be a momtrepreneur or mom entrepreneur without being in the depths of passion about it too. So, Mom, are you still with me? Because this next one is a doozy. I hope you are sitting down because here it goes. You can be successful at both a homeschool mom and a work from home mom without being passionate about it. So, how can this be? Everything we just talked about says that in order to be happy and creating the life you love, it requires passion and loving what you do. There is another way. All right. Be passionate about doing the right thing and doing it with excellence. Sometimes we just need to do a job or homeschool our kids because it is the right thing to do. You may not be passionate about it, but you can be passionate about it being the right thing to do for your family. And this will be creating the life you love. The people you are surrounded by, your kids, are your passion. You don't need to find something else to be passionate about in order to create the life you love. It is okay for your driving force and your passion to be your tiny humans. No, it won't always be rainbows and unicorns, but they are your motivation. They are your motivation to work and school on your own terms. It is your reason for ditching the 9 to 5, or at least the office, being your own boss, and enjoying your life. Unfortunately, raising your kids is a passion that doesn't pay the bills, but it is what drives you to find those things that will give you the freedom to create the life you love. The motivation to work doesn't need to be the work itself. Your motivation can just be creating the life you love, whatever that looks like. Mom, I am so glad you joined me today. If you want to help spread the word, be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. You can listen to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever you listen to podcasts. Remember to check out the Life Unboxed store for all of your Mom Boss merch. And you can support the show with coffee. Visit ko-fi.com/lifeunboxedblog. And that's ko-fi.com/lifeunboxedblog. For more great momtrepreneur content, follow Life Unboxed on social media or check out lifeunboxed.blog. And be sure to share the podcast and video with your friends. And I will see you in the next video.